Hello and welcome to Yoga for Everyone. This is our Friday afternoon class with Emily, and it's a dreary afternoon, but a great afternoon to stay home and do yoga. So we're going to do that, and we're going to have a great class. Over to you, Emily.
Awesome. Thank you, Nadine. All right, everyone. So just starting in a comfortable seat this afternoon. Feel free to sit up on any props that would support you. Sometimes it's nice to have your hips elevated above your knees. So please do that. We'll be seated for about the first 5 minutes or so here. Always like to just start by really centering ourselves before we get into our practice. So I'll ask you to maybe close your eyes, maybe find a point out in front of you where you can keep your eyes focused. And just start to really observe your own body at this time. Allow yourself to notice the places where your body is touching a surface around you. Maybe your mat, maybe a cushion. Allow yourself to feel grounded in that connection. But then notice if there's any rounding through your upper body. Allow yourself to really lengthen your spine. Reach the crown of your head upwards. Let your shoulders start to draw back slightly. Notice any opening you feel through your chest. And again, just take a moment just to be still. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. On your next inhale, I'll ask you to go ahead and join your hands in front of your heart. Start to bring to mind an intention for your practice. So why did you decide to take this hour out of your day? What do you want this practice to bring to your life? And reflect on it for a moment. If nothing comes up immediately, it might come up for you later. And on your next inhale, open up your eyes. And since it's getting a little chillier out, I want you to start to rub your hands together, like you're really trying to warm them up using that friction. Good. Just take a moment here. And when they start to feel like they're getting a little bit more toasty, you can feel that warmth building up. You can go ahead and cup your palms over your eyes so you're blocking out the light around you. Take another nice deep breath in. Nice big exhale. Okay, let your fingertips start to slide down the sides of your forehead and locate your temple region right beside your eyes. And you want to just use 2 or maybe even 1 finger here and just press really lightly into your temples, just massaging in a little circle. The temples are a pressure point that can really help us reduce tension and stress. So just take a moment, work into that area. And then allow yourself to work your way a little further down. So kind of beside your ear, kind of working into your jaw. We hold a lot of tension in our jaw. We don't even realize, so we clench our teeth sometimes, even during our sleep. So just work into that area gently. And then finally, I want you to kind of work your way down to your neck and your shoulders. So your hands will kind of come to either side and just kind of press into the shoulders, the upper traps here. Just give yourself a little self-care, a little self-love before we get into a lot of our movement. And after you've taken that time on your next exhale, let's go ahead and drop the hands down to the lap. Inhale, sitting back up nice and tall. And we're going to start off with some neck stretches. So exhale, start to tilt your left ear down as if you wanted to almost come down towards that left shoulder. Just take a breath here, feeling that stretch along the right side of the neck. You can even kind of rotate the chin down slightly to deepen the stretch. And then slowly, just very mindfully, bringing the head and neck back to center. You don't want to do anything rapid when you're moving your neck, really. So again, exhale gently, opposite side, right ear down towards right shoulder, and just treat yourself with kindness. Inhale, slowly come back up. This time on your inhale, I want you to start to lift your chin, like you almost want to point it up to the ceiling. And then exhale, tuck your chin down, like you want it to almost touch your chest. And do that one more time. Inhale, lift the chin up. And exhale, tuck the chin. And inhale, come back up. Good, we're gonna work our way down to the shoulders next. I want you to bring your arms out. Bend at the elbows, make field goal post for arms. So palms are facing forward. As you exhale, keep the shoulders and elbows lifted and start to press the palms down towards the floor. We're working on the rotation of our shoulders. You might be able to go a little further, just kind of honor wherever your body can go. Inhale to come back up. And exhale to press down. Do that a couple more times on your own. And really notice what you're feeling, the sensations that are arising for you in your body. Just try to stay present with what you're actually experiencing. And one more time. And next time that you lift the palms, this time as you exhale, squeeze your elbows, your forearms, and your palms towards each other. Maybe you can get them to touch, maybe you can't. And then inhale, excuse me. Go ahead and open up the arms, draw the elbows together behind you, really open your chest. Good, and then exhale, coming back together in the front. Good, inhale, open up, expand. Good, last time, exhale. Good, this time, inhale, open back out. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring our right elbow over our left elbow. If your shoulders are tight, you might not be able to bring it all the way across, so you could just cross arms. Other options, depending on your flexibility, bring the backs of the hands towards each other, or maybe wrap the hand into the opposite palm. Inhale, we're gonna start to lift our elbows away from the chest slightly. And you could hold here. You could try also allowing your fingertips to come away from the forehead slightly. See that difference? That's going to deepen the stretch as well. And sometimes it's nice to do little circles with your elbows. So kind of explore. Good, if you're doing the circles, make sure you do both directions. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and let the elbows lower them back down, uncross the arms. And before you do the other side, just take a moment, let both arms rest down, and feel what that right shoulder is like compared to the left shoulder. Good. If you guys can see in the viewfinder, isn't my right shoulder lower than this left shoulder? Notice if yours is too. And now we'll go ahead and switch. So left arm will draw over and make any modifications you might need. Elbows can lift up. Again, maybe just practice drawing that hand further out from the forehead, maybe circle around. And if you did decide to circle, make sure you go the opposite way as well. Excellent. You may, when ready, lower your elbows, uncross the arms. And again, just take a moment to notice, feel, and observe. And we're going to continue kind of working our way down the body. Next, we have the hands and the wrist. So I want you to bring the palms out in front of you, like you're trying to hold something as flat as possible in your hands. This is really good just to really warm up your joints. So as you exhale, I want you to imagine you're pressing something away from your chest. And then inhale, you're going to turn your fingers to point down. You might hear a little popping and cracking in your wrist. Pull the arms back until eventually rotating the hands back out in front. It's really simple once you get the hang of it. So exhale, push away. Inhale, scooping under and in. I'll just do that a couple more times. Exhale, spread your fingers wide too. Pull them back and down. A couple more, just working on the shoulders, wrists, hands, fingers. Last time. Next time you bring the palms back up, you can release them down to the lap. We're going to move down to lower back area next. So begin to lean over towards one side with your body. Move forward, kind of over your lap to your own degree, all the way over to the other side, and then take it around a couple more times. And just move at your own pace, starting just to warm up the lower back, the hips as well. Good, one more time around here. And next time that you're up, go ahead and switch the direction. Move the other way a few times around. And see if you can exhale as you're forward. Inhale as you're up. Good, last time around here. Okay, when you are back up again, we're going to start to move out of a seat and onto our hands and knees for a little bit. So start to transition. I definitely recommend, if you have one, to use a yoga blanket, or if you just have an old towel you want to have, just to provide some cushion for your knees, because we will be here probably about another 5 to 10 minutes. We'll see how long we stay. So bringing hands back under shoulders, fingers are spreading out nice and wide. You can have toes tucked or untucked. We're going to do cat-cow. Inhale, letting your tailbone lift, your belly will lower, letting the eyes look out in front of you. And as you exhale, tucking your tailbone, allow the spine to lift, hollow out the belly, draw the chin towards your chest. And go ahead and continue. Inhale for your cow shape. And exhale for your cow. And continue just running through that up and down motion. I'm going to take one more round of movement. And making your way back into what we call our tabletop, just a flat back here. And we're going to transition to work on the front of the body, the core. But when you think about the lower back, the core is its support. So if you want to have a healthy back, you want to have a nice strong core. So on your inhale, we're going to start to really reach our right foot back behind us, really lengthen out that leg as far as you comfortably can. And then if you're stable and you feel like it, you can let the left arm extend out in front, like you're reaching out to shake someone's hand. The thumb should be pointed up. As belly button is pulling in towards your spine. And then as you exhale, go ahead and come down. Bring the hand and knee back to the mat, and we will switch sides. So inhale this time. Left leg really reaches back. If you're comfortable, right arm may reach forward. And exhale to lower. We're going to do that again, one more time on each side. So inhale again, right leg, left arm. And exhale, lower. Inhale, switch. And exhale, coming back down. All right, from here, we're going to transition to kind of work our way down to the hips. We haven't worked on that part of the body too much yet. So with your right knee, you're going to lift it. You're going to lift over your opposite leg. If you can tap that knee down on the other side. It depends on your mobility, your range of motion. And then you're just simply going to bring the knee back down, tap it on this side, and again, cross over. And we'll do that for a few rounds of movement. You might start to feel that your opposite hip, left hip, is really stabilizing. It's really working here. A really, really good exercise for your hips. A couple more times. You guys are doing great. And take it one more time over. And bring that knee back down before we do the other side. Your knees can start a little wider. Big toes together, heels to the sides. Take a nice little child's pose. Stretch it out. Breathe. And inhale when you're ready. Come on back up to all fours, and we're going to go right to the other side here. The left leg this time is going to lift up. Knee is going to cross over. Maybe it can tap. And then bring it back across. Again, continue through that movement. And move with breath. Just try to be aware. Keep those fingers spread wide to reduce the compression on your wrist. There's a lot of things to think about during these movements. Try to stay focused. And one more time across. And next time that you bring that knee down, again, we'll take it back to a quick child's pose. Breathe it out. Stretch the hands, the fingers, the wrists out if you need to. You can roll them around a little bit. And an inhale, coming back up again. Back to hands and knees. This time, though, we're going to tuck our toes under. Begin to lift the knees, lift your hips, coming into an upside down view. So you're drawing the belly towards the thighs here slightly. Maybe walk your dog, bend in one knee, press down through the other heel. Just give those hamstrings a bit of a stretch. Good deal, you all. So go ahead, we're going to lower back down to the knees again. This time though, if you have your yoga blocks, please go ahead and grab those and bring them up towards the top of your mat. I kind of like having them on this height, but you can have them up a little higher. It will depend on what is best for your body. So from here, you're going to go ahead and bring your hands to the blocks and step your right foot up between your hands. We're going to move into a low lunge. And still, if you don't have that cushion and you need something under the back knee now, bring it underneath. You might need to slide this top foot a little further forward than you initially think. You want to shift your hips forward. And when you do that, you should still be able to have your knee right over your ankle. That's important. You also want to keep it on the inside of the big toe. So don't let it go, the outside of the big toe. Don't let it go in towards you. Okay, really feel that stretch through your hip flexor. And from here, we're going to shift our weight back. Try to keep your hips square. This is important. So when you're going forward here, your hips are going to kind of want to go to one side, and you're going to cheat and not actually get the stretch. So keep the hips square. Maybe have a little bend in your knee here, starting to fold forward over this leg, like you want to draw your forehead down to touch your shin. But keep as much of a bend in the knee as you need. It does not have to be a straight leg. And we're going to go ahead and plant that foot. Shift the hips back forward for your lunge again. And so now go ahead and take it back and forth a few times on your own. And exhale, keep the hips square. Pay attention to that as you fold forward. Inhale, plant the foot, pressing the hips forward. Okay, do a couple more back and forth. Good job, everyone. Next time that you come forward to that lunge, go ahead and step that right foot forward or right foot back. And before we do the other side, do a little circle with your hips. Press them over to one side, back towards your heels, over to the other side, and take it around one time. The other direction. Okay, come back to the middle. And this time, the left foot's gonna step up, making its way between the hands. You can check in with your alignment. When you press the hips forward, is that knee where it's supposed to be? And exhale, shifting hips back, keep them square. Remember, you can keep a bend in the knee. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Take a few more back and forth at your own pace. Great job, everyone. Next time you shift forward, this time, we're gonna step the back foot up to meet the front foot. So you're gonna come into a standing forward fold. I suggest just grabbing opposite elbows and allowing yourself to have a little sway from side to side. And if you need to, you can move your props out of the way for the time being. And we're gonna move into our sun breathing practice. So on your next inhale, you're gonna let your hands draw up about halfway to your shins, your knees, or your thighs. Draw your shoulder blades together, reach the crown of the head forward. As you exhale, let your body fold back down, reach wherever you can. This time on your inhale, let your arms come out by your ears, press up with your legs, or reach all the way up to standing. Arms will come up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward from your hips, coming back down. Inhale, come halfway up to that flat back again. Exhale to fold. Inhale to draw back to the top. Then we'll take a couple more together. Exhale, folding. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to the top. And our final round here. Exhale, folding. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, down. Inhaling back up. Exhale, let the arms come down by the sides. You can go ahead and have a seat back down on your mat now with your legs out in front of you. So go ahead and sit on a blanket or towel. I would definitely recommend that. Just so you're gonna have a better ability to protect your lower back. I know that's a tight area for a lot of people. So we're gonna do some more forward folding here, but we're gonna go ahead and bring the right knee in towards the chest and then open that knee out towards the side. Feel free to have a block or blanket underneath this leg as well. A really key thing to do here that also is gonna protect the lower back area is to make sure your hips are still square, just like I was saying earlier in that pose. So you might need to draw that left leg back slightly so the hips are square to the front. And then we're gonna inhale, reach the arms up overhead, coming nice and high. As you exhale, the knee might start to bend slightly, that's fine. You're gonna reach down over that left leg wherever you can reach. Maybe you wanna hold on. Maybe you wanna move a little bit. Maybe you wanna inhale, come back up a little. Exhale, come down again. You're gonna really tune into your body. What is it that you need? Adjust yourself if you need to. And really working into that lower back. And if your knee is this bent and that's as far as you can reach, don't stress. You will get there eventually. Just honor where you are right now and be thankful that you're taking the time to do the practice. And it just takes time and repetition, just like anything else, to make it a habit. And on your next inhale, let yourself start to gradually lift back up, arms reach overhead. Exhale, let the arms drop back down by the sides. Now you may lift that right knee up now, and you're gonna bring your right foot across your left leg, so it'll be on the opposite side. Your left hand or your left elbow is gonna wrap around that right knee so that you're gonna really be able to inhale, sit up tall, use it to support your spine, and we're gonna do a little twist. So as you exhale, start to turn your head to look to the right, reach the right arm back behind you, wherever is comfortable, and we'll hold here in this twist. You can deepen it slightly by inhale again, come up a little taller, maybe even shift the upper arm to the outer part of that thigh to give you just a little bit more leverage. But don't push too hard here. Be very gentle again. Great job, everyone. As you exhale, start to release from that twist. Make your way back to center. Uncross your leg, stretch it out, and just give it a little shake, a little roll. Let any tension go, any stiffness. Roll out your shoulders if you need to. And then we'll get ready to do the opposite leg. So this time, pulling left knee in, you can open it out to the side, check in, make sure you've got your alignment. And then when you're ready, inhale, arms drop. Exhale, starting to fold forward over that leg. And feel free to do some movement while you're here, or feel free to just relax and kind of release into the stretch. Release your head and neck down. You don't have to hold them up. You don't have to look up. Just turn your awareness to your own body. Notice what you're feeling and sensing. Your next inhale, you may begin to lift, use your core, come all the way back up. Exhale, let the arms lower down. Lift your left knee, cross it over that right leg. And this time, right hand or elbow is gonna wrap around, draw it in nice and close. You might feel a stretch through the outer part of the leg here too, the IT band. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, looking to the left as the left arm's gonna reach back behind you this time. And inhale to lengthen. Exhale to deepen your twist. Your next exhale, let your head rotate back to center, followed by the arms, and eventually the legs. Stretch it out, shake it out. Right, so we're going to do one more stretch here for the IT band, and then we're going to move down to our backs. So the rest of the class will all be on the floor, which will hopefully be nice. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and bend your knees, and you're going to tuck one knee down so it's kind of center of your chest. If you have really tight hips, this might be challenging, but I'll give you a way to modify it as well. So from here, I'll turn so you guys can see this more clearly. So notice this knee is lined up center. Opposite leg's gonna either come on across like this with the foot flat on the floor, or if you feel like you could access it, you could let the knee come down so the knees are stacked one over top. If you cannot do this comfortably, sit up on a block, or maybe have a blanket on top of the block for more cushion. And if this is not a deep enough stretch, if you want to feel it a little bit more, inhale, I want you to sit up taller. Exhale, Start to fold forward over the lap. Maybe bring the hands down to support you. And then tuck the chin towards the chest if you'd like. You're going to feel it through that top leg, the one that's on top, and the outer part of that hip, that glute area. Really, really good stretch, especially if you sit during the day quite often. And your next inhale, let yourself start to gradually sit back up. And from here, we're going to switch sides. You can either just simply switch legs, or you can do a little twist with your legs. So the opposite one comes under if you want to have a little fun. But feel free, if that's not your thing, just to simply switch the leg and bring the other one across. Again, if you can stack the knees, or you could have the foot upright if that already feels like a stretch to you. Again, if you want to deepen, inhale to sit up nice and tall. Exhale, let yourself fold forward slightly. And we'll hold for about 30 seconds. Your next inhale, let yourself start to gradually sit back up again. And you may go ahead and uncross your legs, stretch them out nice and long. And at this point, you're going to start to make your way all the way down to your mat and lie flat on your back. You do want to have your block and a yoga strap close by so you have easy access to it. And we'll go ahead and make our way down now. So we're going to start by keeping the knees bent and having the arms down by your sides. We're going to do a little bit of bridge pose work here. So in bridge, something I find that's important is to remember to keep the core engaged as it supports the lower back. So in order to do that, tune into your pelvis. As you exhale, you want to start to really press your lower back and down into the mat. Do you guys feel how that engages your core, that action? Once you've noticed that, start to press and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. And if you're not used to engaging the core when you're doing that, notice if you feel any different. And as you exhale, let's go ahead, let the hips lower. We'll do that a few more times. So again, inhale, lower back presses down, core is engaged, press and lift the hips up. Exhale, take it back down. Okay, do it one more time. Engage, pressing up. And exhale, take it back down, hips lower. Okay, so this time I want you to grab your block. We're going to go up into bridge. This time I want you to slide your block underneath your lower back area. And it should be in a position that feels pretty comfortable. Your tailbone will kind of hang off the edge there, but it should feel pretty supportive for you. Okay, so from here, just take a moment, let your back settle in. You can bring your knees a little bit back and forth from side to side. Feel that little massage on the lumbar spine. And knees come back to center. And then on your inhale, I want you to start to lift your right foot. Maybe reach up, see if you can grab that right shin, pull it in a little closer. You could also use your strap here if you need it. Your opposite leg, you have a few options too. You could keep it there. You could try extending your leg out, holding it in the air. That's going to really give you some core engagement. Or you could keep the leg extended, but lower it down to the ground. So more so you're focusing on opening up through the hip and the hip flexor. And let yourself take a few more breaths here. Then on your next exhale, start to let that right foot come down. If you extended the left leg, bring that back in as well. All right, from here, we're going to go ahead and switch sides. Pull left knee in towards the chest. Again, find what you'd like to do with that opposite leg, wherever you'd like to place it. Again, we'll hold for a few breaths on this side. On your next exhale, you may let the leg come back down. Opposite leg may draw back in if you'd like. And you may this time make sure your block is still comfortable, because we're going to be lifting both legs up, straightening them towards the ceiling. If you need more support, you could always bring the hands behind the thighs. You can keep as much of a bend in your knee as you need to here. Make sure your block is comfortable. Don't be afraid to adjust it. And while you're here, you might want to play around with the feet, pointing and flexing the toes. Maybe doing some ankle circles. This is a really nice restorative movement for your body. On your next exhale, we can start to lower the legs back down, bend the knees, plant the feet back to the floor. You may go ahead and lift the hips away from the block, slide it out, just get it out of your way for now. Lower back can come all the way back down to the mat. I encourage you just to take a couple windshield wipers from side to side here. And now is the time you're going to need your strap. So go ahead and grab your strap now, or your scarf, or whatever it is you're using. And bend your right knee in towards your chest. See if you can reach that strap around the bottom of your right foot, right below where the toes are. And from there, you want to start to gradually straighten the leg up. You can keep the opposite knee bent or extended. That's whatever is better for your back. Your hands, you really don't want to really be reaching up. You don't want the shoulders, head and neck lifted. So try your best to let those be relaxed. Your foot and your leg, depending on how deeply you want to feel the stretch. If you flex the foot, you're going to get a deeper stretch. And of course, if you straighten the knee, it's going to give you a deeper stretch. But don't do that if you feel the stretch right behind the kneecap. If that's where you're feeling it, keep a little bit of a bend in the knee to make sure you're protecting that area. And again, breathe while you're here. Just enjoy that feeling. Giving back to your body. The self-care time. From here, we're gonna start to transition so that as you exhale, you're gonna open that right leg out towards the side. You wanna try to keep your foot slightly flexed as you do this, and don't let your opposite hip lift off of the mat in order to bring the leg further down. Keep that hip glued, and mainly focusing on the inner thigh groin area stretch here. I will hold again for about 30 seconds. Your next inhale, leg is going to lift again. Bring it back to center. This time we're going to cross the leg over. So as you exhale, leg's going to cross over slightly, not very far. The right hip itself should still stay down, so that glute is glued to the mat. Keep the foot slightly flexed. This is the IT band. It can sometimes be really intense, so just go as far as you are able to. Inhale, leg comes back to center. And the last thing we're going to do here, I know your leg's probably getting a little tired, is a spiral or a circle. So I want you to imagine with your feet or your foot that you're starting to draw a spiral on the ceiling, and it's getting a little bit wider around each time you go. And then just go as far as you feel comfortable going, however big you feel like you can make your circle. When you feel like you've gone as far as you think is possible for you, switch the direction of that circle and slowly start to make the circle a little smaller each time until you work your way all the way back to center. And when you are back at center, before we do the other side, I want you to go ahead, take the strap off, and extend that right leg out beside the left leg, just like we did with the shoulders earlier. And take a moment to actually feel the difference between the two sides. And I know I feel like this leg is so much more relaxed than the other one. I hope that yours feels more relaxed too. So it is time again to even ourselves out. So bend in the left knee towards the chest. Go ahead and loop the strap around. Leg can lift up again, find nice grip. Shoulders are relaxed. Okay, foot can be flexed for a deeper stretch. And we'll just enjoy that sensation again here. It's being present with your experience. On your next exhale, you may begin now to let the legs start to gradually open out towards that left side. And keep the opposite hip down as much as you can. Keep the left foot flexed. It's just going to make sure you're not overstretching, going beyond your limit. Excellent job. Let's start to, again, return the foot back up. And exhale as you start to gradually cross the leg over, just barely, working on that IT band. And breathe while you're here. Just enjoy the feeling. Inhale, leg is back at center once again to finish off here with our spirals. So starting to circle around, work your way gradually outward. When you have reached that widest point as far as you'd like to go, switch the direction, work the opposite way. And when you have worked your way all the way back to center again, you may stop. Go ahead and remove the strap. Again, just get it out of your way for now. Okay, and we are getting down closer to the end of our class. We're going to do some more work for the lower back and hips while we're down here. So first of all, we're going to work on what's called the piriformis muscle, which can be really tight. So we're going to do a figure four. You're going to lift up your right foot, and you're going to cross your right ankle right above your left knee, kind of pressing your right knee out away from you. Make sure that you also flex your right foot while you're here too. You may already feel a stretch, or you may not. If not, lift up your left foot. See if you can also reach underneath the left thigh, pulling those legs in a little closer towards your chest. And again, another muscle that can get quite tight just from extended periods of sitting. So I find it's one you should really do every day if you can, just to counteract the effects. Just take a few breaths while you're here. And on your next exhale, we're going to let the hands release if they're underneath the thigh. And we're going to go right into another stretch from here. So what I want you to do is you bring that right thigh closer over towards the left, almost like you want to hug them together. If you wish, you could lift the feet off the floor here, and you could maybe bring the hands underneath both thighs. And this is going to work, again, more into that IT band area. Okay, we'll hold for a few breaths. Great job. As you exhale, letting go again. Legs can come back down. Go ahead and uncross them. Okay, take a couple more of those little windshield wiper motions. And returning the knees. Now the left side. So the left leg will lift, cross the ankle above the right knee. You gotta flex that left foot. Don't skip that step. Inhale. If you'd like, you can reach underneath that right thigh. And we'll hold here, just working on that piriformis. And your next exhale, leg may release back down. We're going to cross that left leg so that the thighs are again trying to kind of hug together as close as you can. They may not come all the way together, but stay right there if you already feel the stretch, or you could lift the feet, reach the hands underneath the thighs, pull the knees in a little closer. And just breathing here. As you exhale, legs can come down. You may uncross. And we're going to go ahead and spread the arms out like a nice big T shape. The palms both facing up. Knees can draw back in towards the chest when you're ready. And as you exhale, start to let the knees lower down towards that right side. If they don't come all the way down, feel free to reach for your block or some sort of prop to support between or underneath them. Your head could stay at neutral, or you could turn to look over the opposite shoulder. And if you want to deepen, you could even try bringing that right hand to press very lightly down on the top of that left knee. I'll take a few more breaths here. Very nice. Inhale, let's start to work on drawing the knees back to center again. Exhale, knees drop down to the left side this time, trying to keep the right shoulder down. The head can turn if you'd like. And we'll hold here, just a nice twist for the spine, that stretch for the hips. Just allowing yourself to relax while you're here. Inhale, knees come back to center again. Then go ahead and start to lower the feet down towards the mat. And arms can come back in closer by the sides. Let the knees start to open out to each side. Bring the soles of the feet together. This is Baddha Konasana, or bound angle. And let your hands rest here on your belly if you're comfortable with that. And while you're here, try to take a few nice deep breaths in. So really expand your diaphragm. Feel the belly really fill with air. And exhale. So let it all go. And just take a few more deep breaths in and out at your own pace. Inhale. And exhale. Your next inhale, letting the knees come back together. And draw the knees back in towards the chest again. We're going to finish off with happy baby. So extending the lower legs up towards the ceiling. Maybe reaching up for the big toes, the ankles, the arches of the feet. If you can't reach any of those, hold on to the backs of the thighs. The further apart and the further down you pull the knees, the deeper the stretch will be. Give yourself a little rock back and forth from side to side. Great job, you guys. When you're ready, go ahead and start to release your grip. Legs can come back down. For this part of class, I just encourage you to be as comfortable as possible. So if that's in Shavasana with legs and arms out to the side, you may do that. If you have another preferred resting position, feel free to get into that. I also recommend turning the lights down, covering up with a blanket, or just putting on something that's a little bit warmer, because your body is going to cool down quite a bit during this practice. We're just going to have about 5 minutes today for our practice, so we're just going to do a little body scan, and I'm going to share a little reading with you guys as well. So close your eyes if you're comfortable, or again, just focus the gaze somewhere out in front of you. And we're going to scan through the body. Each time that I name an area, just send a thought to that place and encourage it to relax and to the support that is around you. Just relaxing the toes, the feet, the calves, the knees. Relaxing the thighs and the hips. Relaxing the lower back, the middle, and the upper back. Relaxing the belly and chest. Relaxing the shoulders, arms, the hands, and the fingers. Relaxing the neck and the jaw. Relaxing the tongue and the lips. Relaxing the eyes and the eyelids. And just relaxing the forehead and top of the head. Just encourage the whole entire body to be as still as can be. Just for this next minute or two, try to bring your attention to your breath. Just taking the time to give back to yourself, allowing yourself to restore and relax. And I'm going to share just a little short reading while you're resting. This reading is called Intrinsic Worth. Slow down, breathe. There will always be something important to attend to. And yet, what is more important than to sit and be in total peace? We fear silence, yet through silence we are free. Prison only exists within. When we face our pain, we will no longer be held back by what has been. Slow down, breathe. Listen to the voice inside. It is wise and wants you to be joyfully alive. It intends that you actualize your soul's potential, no longer living on autopilot, or waiting for the world to hand you self-worth. In a stack of credentials, your soul has intrinsic value. It has nothing to do with status, beauty, or success. Slow down, breathe, listen to the voice inside. You'll know what path to take if you follow that inner guide. Just take a moment and just to breathe. Gradually, you may want to start bringing just a little bit of movement back to your body. Just waking up. And you might want to stay on your back. You could roll over onto one of your sides. And just take some time. There's no hurry. When you're ready, you can start to come back up to a comfortable seated position. And we will close out our practice all together. When you have made your way to your seat, I'll ask you to go ahead and join the hands in front of the heart center. Take a nice deep breath in, fill your lungs. And a nice big exhale, let it all go. Thank you so much for joining for today's class. I hope you leave feeling well and refreshed. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.